Okay, here's part two. Gonna kind of be brief. We're supposed to be going out to dinner, and I'm out here messing around with Tonkas, so I don't know how far I'm gonna get. Anyways, so here's the Mighty series, yeah. See, Mighty Dump. Here's a Mighty Dump that I've taken apart, and then your front end loader right there. I talked before how to strip, how to get the paint off. I'm telling you, I got a bucket right over there. Right there, filled with vinegar. Works like a champ. But you'll find that in the 80s and 90s, they used a different paint, and vinegar won't touch it. So that's when you get involved in this stuff. Now the citrus, you'll see a lot of people going to the citrus strip. It's okay, but again, it's not real strong. And you may or may not be able to get that to work. A lot of people swear by it, but I gotta tell you, I have a tough time with it. I haven't had a whole lot of success. This stuff here, premium stripper, clean strip. It doesn't have the one chemical. You read it right there, non-methylethylene chlorine formula. I tell you what, that stuff is vile. It will take the paint off and anything else in its way. Can't get it near any plastic, strictly metal. So you be careful with that. Toxic as all get out. Make sure you do it outside. Definitely want a mask. Definitely want gloves. Be careful with that stuff. But that'll do it. But I gotta tell you, vinegar, go that first, right? Now, you see I got these in different stages. This is how I like them, nice and rusty. And then I take them apart. And then I will clean them up. This one here, you can see some Bondo. I'm going to tell you right now, all this was right here, vinegar. Vinegar. Some sanding. I'm good to go. All right. One thing I left out, I meant to mention in tools, I call these duckbills. I don't know what they are really, but I'm going to tell you what. A good pair of these, you can get hold of it. You can straighten metal out. You'll see sometimes things get bent. Use that on it. It's perfect. Other part of the stripping. I went and got me one of these. Got it at Harbor Freight. It's like 20 bucks. Got the sand over there in that box. That was 25. It was actually more than the thing. I blew sand in every direction. It did okay. I'm not impressed. To be honest with you, it was just okay. You end up blowing the sand out. You can't use it anymore. And you're spitting sand for days afterwards, so I'm not a big fan. Another good thing to have, some steel wool. It comes in different grades. You'll see I've got 4/0. I use that for taking off and sanding down the finish of my primers. This one here was etched primer. Doing just what I've been telling you I've been doing. Thing will come out great. I'm going to hit it with some steel wool over here. Be good to go. When you're taking these apart, here's some pointers for you. Like on the big dumps, I talked before briefly about these caps. Identify which cap it is, if it's the pressed on one or if it's the solid one. And then all you do is you move the axle up and then take your cutter, cut it off. On these big dumps, things to watch out for. We talked about different rivets. See that rivet right there? And then if you flip it upside down, pardon me, so I don't want you to get sick. Don't get sick on me. And then here's the other side. Got to watch yourself in that. If you start drilling on this and it starts spinning because you got a bad bit or soft bit, it will melt the plastic of the front. When you get on the other side, it'll melt the plastic and you'll ruin your top. So sharp bit. Remember I mentioned sharp bit, sharp bit, sharp bit. So when you're cutting these heads off of here, when you're cutting them off, you don't want to spin that metal. You don't want to be melting the plastic. Remember I was saying that some of the drills, you can drill out the rivets and some you can't. Here's one you can't. It's at an angle, so you really won't be able to touch it. But I tell you what, come in with that Dremel motor and the grinder and just cut this off, this tail or head or whatever you want to call it. Just grind it off right there. That thing will fall right out and you're good to go. A couple minutes tops. The other thing you need, just basic screwdriver. Just a regular old flat screwdriver. You look down in these holes here, right here is a tab. You'll just bend that up. Don't wiggle it back and forth. Just bend it up and then use a flat screwdriver and you can pry this out. And that's a key thing on all these with Tonkas, especially when you get into the ages that I'm dealing with here. Don't be bending that tab back and forth. It will break off, and then there you are. Again, over here, look deep inside here. You're going to see a rivet in there. And that rivet is the cap end on this end. It's the cap end on the other end. You can see it right here. On the other end right here, there. There's a pointer that I've found out. This cab right here, this comes off. You just got to flex it a bit, reach inside and get it, and then this thing will come off. Also, here again, here's the rivet. And like I was saying, just take that Dremel and just grind that off. This will fall right off. Another little pointer. Take a lot of pictures before you start so you remember which part goes where. That'll help in the long run. Here's those caps. One side is the push-on. The other side is not. That is not a push-on. Don't grind that. Leave it alone. Come over here and first take the wheels off, and then come in here with that Dremel. 2 minutes. Cut that. It'll fall off. This comes out. Everything comes apart. Be careful what you do down here. These two rivets there, if you don't have to take them out, this one right here and this one over there, if you don't have to take them out, don't take them out. And I'll tell you why. They use tubular ones on that. And I can't find them, not that size anyways. And even if I did, I couldn't press them on right. So I end up having to use pop rivets. And in that particular instance, it's just not a good thing. So if you can get around doing that, do so. Don't take those out if you don't have to. Save yourself a lot of trouble down the road. Be careful with the plastic. Plastic's old, it's dried, it's brittle, and it will break. There are people out there that make new ones. I got good friends with one of them that's doing it right now. But I got to tell you, it's better just to be careful. Same thing goes with these smokestacks. These smokestacks are like $9 each, and they get really old and they're really brittle and they fall apart. So be careful with those as well. I think this one is missing. You can see it's actually missing the engine and the guard. So be careful about what you're doing with those. And I think that's about it. Like I said, you gotta just kind of pay attention to what you're doing. Sand, sand, sand. This one I've sanded, and I started putting one layer of Bondo on it, or body filler, or whatever you want to call it. And I start sanding it. It's by no means done. You can see on the top here, this stuff is rough. But that's how I want to do these. I got 10 of these for like $8 the other day. So I don't put a lot of money into the front of it, but I do put a lot of time and effort into them. So that's what I'd say you need to get yourself going. There are 100 different ways to do this. This is by no means the end all, but it kind of gives you a start. Oh, one last thing. Next question is paint. You know what? I had a lot of luck with this one right here. That 2X Paint and Primer by Rust-Oleum. I just had great luck. It shoots on, it shines, it's all good. But I got to tell you, I put a green can on and it was crap. It was terrible. And I'm in the process of stripping it all back off. So whatever paint you're going to use, good luck to you. I haven't found any one that I can say 100% good. I can say that my luck with Rust-Oleum, the 2X kind, Rust-Oleum 2X primer in that, I have better luck with that than any other brand. And before you get too far along, I have done 2-part and 3-part paint, and it looks great, I will say. But when you're going to take it and throw it back out into the yard with the kids and the paint and the rain and everything else, that gets pretty pricey. So that's where we're at. Hopefully that helped. Got any questions, comments? Drop them at the bottom. Till next time, catch you later.